we're probably not ever gonna get shed of ego in this life while we're having to have this experience. But one thing is for sure. We cannot be love and judgment at the same time. As soon as we hold judgment, which comes from a subconscious wound and subconscious place of defense, the love stops. We cannot love from a closed, defensive heart. And so we have to make that choice every day. Am I going to love, or am I going to let judgment stand in the way of me loving you? It can't be both ways. And so if we want to be expressing more in love, if we want to spend more time in love than in judgment, we're going to have to let go of some beliefs. We're going to have to let go of my truth, my spiritual revelation, my spiritual discernment. Because as soon as you enter judgment into the equation, love is out the window. And tension and war is back in the human arena. And we continue this earth life for another millennia. What is the solution? The solution is shadow work. The solution is to become aware of our lower chakra fears and survival instincts. If we're always living from the lower chakras, root chakra, sacral chakra, and solar plexus chakra of survival, then that is what gives fuel to our ego, and ego is always looking out for number one, because it has to survive. It has to assure our survival, my survival. And that is what leads to war, because in order to have my survival guaranteed, I have to war against you. I have to take your stuff. I have to steal from you, right? But that's the blinded perception of the lower nature that is based in survival and fear. So we've got to dive into those lower chakras and find out what our fears are. Find out what we need to defend against. And you know, all of these fears come from not knowing our divine identity. We are 100% identified as mortals, as human beings, subject to the law of mortality and survival. And because that's the only awareness we have, we're going to fight to the death. Even in our more civilized times. But I can guarantee you when the threat becomes too close to home and too sick, any human being identifying from their lower root chakras and sacral chakras of survival, they're going to go so far as to murder, to kill their fellow man, because the animalistic instinct of survival is so strong. But we're not animals. We're not even human animals. It's the blindness that is causing this. We're blinded to our divine nature. We're blinded to our divine origin in God, as God. If everyone really knew at a soul level their God identity, the fear and the survival response would cease, because we would realize, well, we're not this body. We don't have to save this body under all circumstances, because life never ends. Physical bodies end. But our spirit is eternal. Our soul is eternal. When we know this, we lose the fear of survival and the need for survival. Right? So it's all rooted in identity and in awareness. And so much hinges on us realizing that we are divine, we are God, for this to change, to come up hither to the higher heavens of the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the brow chakra, and the crown chakra. Those are the heavens. When we raise to that awareness, the warring will cease. The defensiveness will cease, because we got nothing that we need to defend. We don't need to defend our Godhood, our Godship, our divine eternal being, because it can never be threatened. It can never be threatened. So come up hither and let the Spirit show you who you are, so that you can let go of this warring energy in you, the enmity, and not fight with your family and with your neighbors because you somehow have to defend your human identity. Come up hither and know, be still and know that you are God, and all wars will cease, and the peace that passes all understanding will be yours.